Hi everyone, I'm JD. Welcome back to my channel. So I've got a tutorial for this video where I'll show you guys how I made these glassine bag journal covers with lace and trims and featuring these beautiful Polaroid flowers from Amity Bloom. So I'll link below her shop in case you want to check it out and get the same Polaroid flowers. I absolutely love them. There's so many in a set, and I knew I wanted to make some journal covers with them because they're the perfect size for these glassine bags. And I really love using the white glassine and the white fabrics and trims and laces. It just is so clean and beautiful and makes the flowers stand out. So I made 6 covers here with all different colors, and I'm going to make another cover, a blue one, because I'm actually going to keep this blue one. I fell in love with these covers so much that I'm going to keep a blue one. So we're going to make another one with the same blue cover, and I've chosen 2 other pictures for the inside covers. So I'll put those aside. Here's my glassine bag. It is from A Tattered Dream on Etsy as well, so I'll try to link that below if I remember. If I ever forget to link anything, just let me know in the comments and I will put up the links. And then I've got all these trims around me, so different laces and trims and fabrics, and just all the covers I had were using various trims and fabrics, so not all of them were the same. Just kind of to let you know you can use whatever you have in your stash. You don't need the same ones I have. If you have similar ones, just use whatever you have. I got all of these from, I believe, the lovely Tonya and maybe Lisa as well. When I did some swaps, I swapped some journals in exchange for papers and lace and fabrics. So thank you so much, Lisa and Tonya, for these. They are beautiful. And so what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing the largest piece because I want it to cover the spine so that the spine is given some strength on this glassine bag. And then I just grab my glue. It's craft glue, clear craft glue. And then I just apply it to the front cover, and then I'll glue down the fabric to the cover. So this beautiful fabric with these gorgeous floral patterns on it. It's so pretty, love the design. So just placing that so that those loops, those curves will kind of overlap the opening to the opening of the glassine bag. So I love all of the layers in this. And then on the other side I ended up having it folded while I glued down the other side of this fabric. But actually what you want to do is you want to keep open the glassine bag. You want to have it open. As you'll see when I turn it over and open it up, it bunches up, so you want to keep it open. Put the glue on the other side and then glue it down. So yeah, just smoothing that out. Now I'll trim off the excess just to make it more manageable, and then I will trim it off more neater so that it's flush with the edge of the glassine bag. So I love the sound of the glassine bag too. It just sounds so cool, and I love the feel of it, and it was the perfect size for those Polaroid flowers. So yeah, I really loved covering the glassine bag with all of this lace though. My favourite supplies, glassine and trims and lace. So folding it over so it is nice and neat, and now you get that crease in the fabric. And then I'm just choosing a different type of fabric for the other side of the glassine bag, making sure it overlaps the edge, again to have those little curved pieces or the edges of the trim showing over the edge to give the layered effect. So just gluing that down here as well. So I apologize if it's all, the cuts are all funny and it's sped up in different places and slowed down in other places. I was trying to make this as seamless and smooth as possible, this video, in the editing, but tried to make the gluing and the cutting stages sped up. But yeah, sorry if it's a bit jumpy. And then just trimming those, oh no, hang on, first of all I'm gluing this section down, these little ridgy bits, I don't know what to call them. But just gluing those down, and also this side too, those rounded curves, gluing those down too. I've done something similar with using these types of fabrics with an envelope journal, but this was the first time I tried it with a glassine bag. And one of the reasons why also I've layered up so many fabrics is not just to have it look pretty, is just so that the glassine bag has some substance to it, some structure, some weight, so it's not too flimsy. But yeah, essentially it's like a fabric cover and just the glassine bag is the base to give it some extra structure as well. So now I've pulled out this beautiful lace. I love it. This is my last piece of it, which is a bit sad, but anyway. And I'm gluing this down, and I don't need to because it's all nicely covered there, but I want to add some layers. I want to add some texture and some extra interest, and this is really pretty, so I'm just going to put this here. And I think you might agree, it just adds extra beauty to the cover. So just gluing that down. And I love, just it adds the interest. You've got all these different types of trims and laces in this cover involved, and as a whole, when you look at it, it's just so pretty. I love it. It's so beautiful. Gluing this down all the edges, and then I will trim it down. So lots of gluing, lots of trimming, lots of cutting. And then what I do is I work on the inside covers. So I've got this other strip of lace, and I just want to put that down the spine just to, again, reinforce the structure of the journal, give it a bit more weight, especially around the spine where you're going to have the binding and everything. So I just want to add this, plus it's decorative. It's nice just to, even if a spine doesn't need the extra structure, I quite like just adding something, some washi tape or something down the spine, just to add that interest. So yeah, just gluing this down, and then I'll trim down the edges once again. I do use a tissue. That's a little handy tip or trick I like to use, so I don't get glue all over my fingers. The tissue just helps me to run down that, smooth it down, and spread out the glue evenly. Alright, and then I've got another piece of trim here, another piece of fabric that I will be using just down the bottom. And I'm going to cut this to size first, because the edges, I don't want to cut those of the glassine bag or the trim on the other side. So I'm cutting this down first, and then I'll stick it down. And again, it just, you don't need it, but I'm just wanting to add a bit more structure to the journal, a bit more weight. And since I'm going to add the Polaroid flowers to the top, and that gives it structure, I was wanting to put some extra structure down the bottom. And the lace just gives it that, but it's also decorative and adds an extra layer. So when I glue this down, you'll notice that I leave the ridges, the curved edge, the bottom edge, further down so that you can see it on the other side, on the front cover. And it just adds that extra beautiful layer. So there you go, you can see the layered effect with the ridges. I'm gluing that down, and then I do fold it. I get my ruler to help me fold it because there's a lot of layers going on. There's a lot of fabric, and depending on how thick your fabric is, you just need to crease that real nice so that it is a definite fold there. And now I'm just choosing my Polaroid images for the front. Since it's a blue cover, I want to choose ones with blue flowers. So I've chosen these two beautiful florals, and then I glue these down onto the insides of the covers. Again, I don't need it, but I just wanted to add a bit more colour to the inside, and it gives it that extra structure. But yeah, it does break up all of that white, so it's nice to have a bit of vibrant colour on the covers as well. Alright, so that is the inside cover done. And then on the front cover, I will be adding a beautiful piece of trim. Again, it doesn't need it, but just to give it an extra decorative feature, I wanted to use this beautiful trim here. So this one I kind of angle so that it makes it a little border for the Polaroid, the bottom of the Polaroid, and just again it lifts it off the fabric. It lifts it so it's the feature piece. So then I cut this little trim down to size and then just glue it on after I position it. After I make sure it's in the right position, now I glue it on. It's a bit tricky getting into all those little delicate lace crevices. But yeah, just adding this extra little special layer and sticking this one on top as my final focal piece on the front. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. Let me know if it was. Really love how these covers turned out. I was so happy with them. The best way to tell if I'm really happy with a journal collection is when I keep one for myself. So yeah, absolutely fell in love with these covers. I love the cleanliness of the white. I love all the fabrics and trims and lace, all my favorite things, and my blue flowers. I love florals, and then I'll have fun adding the pages, and I will be adding all of the journal cards with the other flowers into pockets, or I'll sew them onto the pages directly. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.